Till the thunder throws so shook and grown. Disobedience turned their hearts to stone. Rejected the truth, lost in the zone. Now that they in rent in Hades' bone home. Holes crack heads, no shelter in the night. Underworld gates that eternal fright. Denials echo through torturous flight. Only face facts could have saved their plight. Lightning crack, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Zeus truth or face the dole. Charon's boats too full to float. Wails of the foolish on the underworld note. Denied Olympian, decree now they don't. Eternal chains, no antidote. Gods convene, truth unseen. Demigods whisper, lost souls scream. Follow the path or drown in the stream. Zeus' wrath, a cruel dream. Shrieks of torment echo loud. Lost in sulfur, desperate proud. Zeus watches from Olympus cloud. Rejected truth, their fates avowed. Convene, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Or face the
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
too full to float.
Let's get this show started. You know what we came here to do, all right? We don't got all day to do it, all right? Welcome to the show.
Feel like I'm stuck in a cycle. It's like I'm stuck in time.
Go, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like a curse. And I can't escape it. It's like
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you all. Happy Thursday.
It's deja vu running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm flying first. Like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it.
Look at my grass.
Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas.
You know what time it is. Good morning, Kabira. Nice to see ya.
Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you rich and famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my
6 more days.
I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
Good morning, Marissa. Nice to see ya.
And if they use my ex, that mean they left me.
You know what it is?
They don't give me pause if they text me. I said with my
Another
cousin
week
'cause I made it.
for the history books,
Got a
all
lot
right?
of confidence
Hit
in
Little
my
Hawk, my
disease.
brother, Michael
Call me the
Harris.
master with a new whip.
Kevin,
I'ma
here it
take
goes.
off in a
Look at these Zeus
spaceship.
haters.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's
Oh,
lab
you-
in a couple of days.
Drug test.
It was radical.
Very
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the road.
Oh, that part always gets me. Sitting up getting a drug test taken.
It's like deja vu.
I mean, they never learn. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the Thunderdome. Once again, we're back to take care of business. I am your host. I am your pilot, and you know exactly why we are all here this morning. But before we get into that, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. Because, you know, most people on social media, you just never know, right? But I'm the most honest, right? The second H is, well, because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I'll issue you an apology, all right? But here's the thing. Just because your feelings are hurt after I say what I say to you, it doesn't mean that I owe you an apology. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you've guessed it, I am and will always remain the most handsome. Many of you know exactly why we are here. We have to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of, MAGA demons, right? These are MAGA demons at the highest levels, ladies and gentlemen. And so I just want to check the temperature real quick. Good morning, Shay. Do we have any Trump supporters left out there in the audience? Yesterday, we had a knucklehead come up in the box. His name was Cage. I thought about Cage, and I said, Cage has to practice staying in his cage when he gets onto these lives. And it's not just him. Listen, MAGA, we're really at an inflection point in this country. Nothing you can say, no matter how loud you say it, no matter how rude you are when you say it, right? The American people clearly aren't falling for it. So when you get in the box, please, honestly, try to demonstrate you have the ability to contain the MAGA demon. I know there's a couple out there like DJ. DJ does a good job of trying to contain the MAGA demon, but getting up in here and just yelling and trying to overtalk people, it's not working. And I got proof of that in just a few minutes. I'll go over it. But if you are a Trump supporter, I'm also going to give you an opportunity of a lifetime. If you do not want Big Zeus to hurt your feelings, all right, and ruin your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between, do me a huge favor, a huge, huge favor. Leave this live and you go on to hang out with those fake TikTok hosts, all right? Because they'll lie to you. They really will. But over here, we won't lie to you. We will not fall for the okie doke. We will not allow ourselves to be gaslit by the talking points that you got directly from Donald Trump, because we know that's where you get all your talking points. You don't come up with that stuff on your own. You get it from your dear leader, all right? So if you do not want me to ruin your morning, leave this live, all right? Because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy
Thank you,
here,
Black Diamond.
then you can leave.
Good
as far
morning,
as I'm
Val.
concerned, if
Good
you
morning,
hate our
Erica.
country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, and with that being said, let the games begin. The Thunderdome, it has officially, the doors have closed to the Thunderdome. You've entered at your own risk. I will not allow Trump supporters to be victims around me. I don't allow you to be crybabies around me. I don't take the tears seriously, because no matter what issue MAGA brings up, you can always point to them that they really don't have a problem with that issue. And the biggest thing that they think they got us on is immigration. And you ask Trump supporters, why do you have a problem with people who have, brown skin, so to speak, right? I don't want to get into the racial categories, but why do you have a problem with these people? 100% of the time, they'll say something along the lines that we need to vet these people because we don't know who they are, Zeus. And they could be, it's the big C word, criminals, right? This is their thing. But MAGA, here's the thing, and I'm going to say it, and it's like, I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face. You can never, ever say to me, and I'm only speaking for myself, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there feel me when I say this. You cannot say to me, you have a problem with criminals, and then go using that intelligent mind of yours, that intelligent brain of yours, go inside of a voting booth, and you had two choices, criminal, not criminal. And guess what you did, MAGA? You voted for the criminal. So it's your right to do that, but I just want you to understand you can't use that when you're debating and talking to us, because your argument will fall flat on its face. I can't take you serious when you know that directly contradicts what you're saying. And there's an old saying, actions speak louder than words. Somebody said that I could move them into my house. I didn't want to bring you up this fast, but no, I will not be moving anybody into my house. That's the most ridiculous response. That's the most ridiculous idea that I've ever heard. See, the thing with MAGA is you guys, you do these false equivalencies, and I'm trying to help you understand. Just because it sounds good inside of your head doesn't mean it's a good idea. Why would I let anybody, you could be a citizen or not, I could be dating you, why would I let you into my house? Think about this. Think about what y'all are saying before you say it. That's why you didn't want to come up when I sent you the invite. So what I'll do is this. To that knucklehead, that knuckle dragger that this morning started off in the chat with a lie, and I invited them up, but they didn't want to come up. I'm going to go ahead and do the audience a huge favor. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and sacrifice that one user account that lied and told me I should move anyone. I'm not moving nobody grown in my house unless they got the money to actually pay for it, and then we'll talk business. But no, Big Zeus isn't financing anybody. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send them straight to hell. See, I'm trying to be nice.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Do you Trump supporters understand that Trump University isn't a real school? Do y'all understand? If y'all got y'all degrees from Trump University, I hate to tell you this, but please stop putting that on your resume and stop putting that on job applications because it makes you look and sound, you know what, I'm not even going to say it because it's TikTok. All right, but W Zeus in the chat. I was tempted, ladies and gentlemen, to just not even get up and do this show, honestly, because, you know, I'm so busy. I could be doing so many things with my time, but I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. Number one, we have Yazzie Jazzy's birthday to celebrate later on. But I realized that I woke up to some really, really good news, all right? And it has a lot to do with Donald Trump's poll numbers. And this is... these poll numbers, ladies and gentlemen, I've been wondering, how come Trump supporters are not getting in the box and, number one, learning how to behave, right, when they talk, right? And we've all kind of know it because we keep our ears to the street. We knew this before the poll numbers came out, right, my fellow Democrats? W to the Democrats, by the way. I'm going to give it to you both ways. We're going to do what MSNBC says, and then we're going to do what Fox News says. And we're going to get this on the record because it's very, very important to me that the American people know the truth, all right? And you know what? And this is the truth, MAGA. You could get in the box at this point and say whatever you want to say to me. But I know the truth, and everyone in America knows the truth. We know those egg prices that Donald Trump said went down 93, 94%. That was a lie. We know that the gas prices that he says he saw as low as $1.98, we know that's all a lie. We know that trillions and trillions, you know, he likes to say billions, trillions and trillions of dollars worth of generational wealth has evaporated. It's almost like the generational wealth was put into one of Elon Musk's SpaceX rockets and it's sent to Mars. It's never coming back. We all know this, but it means a lot more when the American people know this. All right, so let's go ahead and get this on the record. This is an update on Donald Trump's poll numbers. And by the way, how many days? We're 6. Okay. So we're what, 94 days into his administration. April 30th, it will be the 100th day of the Trump administration, and I'm going to collect, and you know exactly who you are. They said, Zeus, you got to give him 100 days. And we're going to get to this point, and this is when America is going to start playing hardball with Trump. But let's get this on the record.
Finds that Trump's overall approval rating is now underwater. 44%. That's right. Only 44% approve the job he's doing, while 55% disapprove. The president is also underwater on the issues of immigration, foreign policy, the economy, tariffs, and inflation. Trump receives his best marks on border security as 55% approved.
Oh, okay.
Based on Trump's first 100 days, voters are now also less optimistic about the future. 38% say they feel encouraged about the next 4 years, while 51% are discouraged. Those numbers were at 45% and 84% respectively at the 100-day mark of Trump's first term back in 2017.
So a separate Reuters Ipsos poll found President Trump's overall approval rating at 42%. Just 37% approve of his handling of the economy. Trump's worst ever rating on that question. Meanwhile, 45% approve of his handling on immigration. Meanwhile, a new Pew Research Center survey finds Trump's approval rating at 40%, with 59% disapproving. That's Trump's lowest rating on that question since 2019 and down 14 points from November. He is also Underwater on tariffs at 39%, Doge cuts at 44%, and the economy at 45%. These numbers, you would think in the White House they're taking a look today.
Yeah, I would think so. And he's at a remarkably low number here for so early in his term.
Ooh, W to the Democrats. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And so what I enjoy, ladies and gentlemen, I heard this and I said, how many Trump supporters will come onto the show and say that what we just heard isn't true and still be doing what we saw Cage doing? You know, Cage got into my box yesterday. Put on he was suited and booted, sitting in, someone said it was a bus with his fake ID, and he was trying to convince us all that his daddy, his dear leader, was doing a great job. Newsflash, Cage, Donald Trump isn't doing a good job. Everybody knows it except you. Do y'all live under a rock or something? I mean, this is getting out of hand. Honestly, I'm over here crying right now because I know one thing, a hard head makes for a soft you-know-what. Now, let's go ahead and to the people out there like Cage, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you both ways, all right? I got to give it to him both ways because one thing is crystal clear. It's one thing when MSNBC says when MSNBC says it, but then it's another thing when Fox News has to say it, because they're going to say it, but then they're going to try to put a little bit of a twist on it. All right, they're going to try to make it seem like it's not that bad. But ladies and gentlemen, you just have to keep in mind when you watch Fox News that this is a person that supposedly has a mandate. And I'm not talking about, dating someone, right? A mandate meaning this is someone that came in, poll numbers were like 60, 70%. All right. And so when you hear these numbers, just keep in mind at one point, it was around 60 to 70% for each and every single one of these categories. All right. Let's let Fox News tell the story because, this is where Donald Trump really gets his news.
Getting bad people out of this country despite what's happening in the court and has done thus far. Look, really strong numbers when it comes to the border. He's at 55% approval.
Same numbers.
Does well on foreign policy too. Look at the border crossings at the southwest border. In March, they were down 95% from a year ago. And Americans largely approve of, how he's getting bad people out of this country despite what's happening in the courts. But when it comes to the economy, this is where it's a little trickier, and this is where his numbers have gone south. He's struggling on the economy overall with a 38% approval rating. On tariffs, it's even lower at 33%, and is handling up inflation also at 33%.
Biden
Many
never
Americans
did this.
believe that the tariffs are inflationary or will be inflationary. That's the worry. The Wall Street Journal has a piece this morning, and the headline says, Trump meets his match, and his match is the markets. The stock market is down. Many of us are invested in the stock market, and it's down 5% or more since April the 2nd, which was the announcement of the tariffs on Liberation Day. Most Americans trust Donald Trump's instincts. They believe in him and what he's going to do, and they know that he looks at the stock market as a barometer of the quality of life of Americans and how he's doing as president.
This the way Fox News is doing this. It's like, you're working at a business and they're going to fire you. They're going to fire you, right? But they like you, but they got to take care of your business. This is the beginning of them basically reading Donald Trump his rights. Hey, you've really done a great job when it comes to border security, but there's these concerns.
So do you think deals are going to happen? Right now, we have 18 trade deals on paper. That's what the White House said yesterday.
18?
We have multiple, hundreds of billions of dollars of investments pouring into this company. 18
trade deals? Listen, champ, you're going to need a lot more than 18 trade deals to get out of this mess. MAGA, do y'all believe this stuff? Because I don't.
So in order for Trump to meet his dual mandate, if you will, protect American workers, bring jobs back onshore here to the U.S., that's part of it, but also fix these trade imbalances, get rid of the non-tariff barriers, make it an equal playing field, a level playing field. That's hard to engineer.
No doubt. Yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
You hear that, MAGA? That's hard to engineer, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Nothing makes me happier than to go on the internet. It's a guilty pleasure. You know, a lot of us, we have our guilty pleasures. And you know what? This guilty pleasure of mine, if it ends up making me, gets me, it might make me end up going to hell. So be it. Nothing makes me happier than to know that these Trump supporters are understanding that the Democrats have been right the whole time. And they got egg on their faces. Their relationships are falling apart. They are losing their jobs. They're losing everything. And they're just hoping. They're just hoping that there's going to be this one magical day where a unicorn parts the sky and comes down, and it's got rainbows, and it's going to fly down to them and pick them up out of their misery and then take them over to Mar-a-Lago. All right, that's what they're waiting for. Okay. But they know that, honestly, because they're listening to what we're saying, and they're going, there's a good chance that's not going to happen. And you know what? They're also saying the Democrats are right, but it's not just them that are saying that. Guess who's now saying that the Democrats are right? Ladies and gentlemen, and I got to go back to Lawrence O'Donnell because he did it last night, and he did something. He pointed it out to me. He pointed out that Donald Trump has finally admitted that it's his supporters that are going to pay the tariff. You know, the one that he said he's going to put on all those countries, and he brought out those graphs, and he said China's going to pay this. Who else did he throw in there? That, the penguins are going to pay that. He threw out all these countries, Vietnam. I mean, he was naming all these countries and saying it's going to bring in so much revenue to the government. Well, he's not saying that anymore. He's telling his supporters the truth. It was an additional tax that he created that his supporters, will pay. So let's get this on the record, and then we'll get to judgment.
They've already lost. Donald Trump's constant public flailing around ignorantly about tariffs in the White House these days has become a much more difficult rhetorical challenge for him than the way he idiotically talked about tariffs during the presidential campaign and lied to his voters every single time.
Remember this?
He constantly told his campaign rallies that China would pay the Trump tariffs. He constantly told voters that not one of them would ever pay a Trump tariff, when in fact all of them and only them would pay the Trump tariffs, and China would never, and no foreign country would ever pay a tariff imposed by the United States. They never have, they never will, because that is not how tariffs work. Donald Trump never admitted that a Trump tariff, a tariff imposed by the United States, is simply an increase on the price of that product in the United States and only in the United States, and is only paid by buyers in the United States. But today, in his desperate tariff ramblings, Donald Trump finally admitted in one little line, how tariffs actually work.
Ooh.
Donald Trump said the words, and this was very little noticed today by the news media. He said the words about tariffs. He said, you add that to the price of a product.
Woo, W to the Democrats. We've been telling them the whole time, giving them the answers. And now Donald Trump is saying it to his supporters, and they have no choice but to believe it. Thank you, Lawrence. Let's get it going.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying about Donald Trump's tariffs since the first time he ever used the word tariff years ago. And today, Donald Trump finally, after years of lying every single time he talked about who pays the tariff, after years of lying about that, he finally said in a little noticed comment, which those of you who've joined me in this multi-year crusade against Trump tariffs here in this program really deserve to hear.
So when you add that to the price of a product, a lot of those products aren't going to sell.
When you add that to the price of a product, those products aren't going to sell. Ding, 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 MAGA. Now what? Go get your charts. Go get your graphs. Go get your AIs and all that stuff, MAGA, and come back and tell us how Donald Trump is now wrong. I would love for you to do that. But you know what? In the meantime and in between time, I am going to enjoy this Lake of Fire round. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire for these Trump supporters. Donald Trump has clearly humiliated them at the highest level possible. All right, by now finally admitting to them that they are the ones who are going to pay the tariff. Case closed.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Case closed, MAGAs. I don't ever want to hear this again. I don't ever want to hear it again, because your dear leader is finally admitting what we Democrats have been telling you. And there's more of this to come, because now you have to start thinking to yourself, I wonder how many of the other things that the Democrats have been telling us they've been right about, and how many other times Donald Trump has been lying to us. And I got some real bad news for you. That's not even the tip of the iceberg. That's just a little atom at the top of the iceberg. So I guess you won't have nothing to cry about anymore. I never was crying. That's the first thing you got wrong, champ. That's the thing you got wrong. I don't have any. Why would I be crying? Because y'all are suffering. See, those of us who are free thinkers look at this like this. You see that? No strings attached. We see danger and we know how to get out of the way, right? So the impact isn't going to be as bad. But for you Trump supporters, oh, y'all saw danger and you said, you know what? Bring it on. And you went and got those red hats, right? And you did nasty things. Think about all the things MAGA has done, right? From January 6th on. It's just wave after wave of just very, very terrible and bad things. So no, if you do see me crying, it's because it's actually tears of joy. It's like I said, it's a guilty pleasure of mine, and that's between me and the Lord. I'm going to try to work it out with the Lord where, I'm not really getting off laughing at Trump supporters suffering, because I shouldn't do that, right? But in the meantime, between me getting that right and where I'm at now, that's just something I'm going to have to enjoy. Because you know what? A hard head makes for a soft behind. All right, now let's go to the audience real quick. Are there any Trump supporters out there this morning that are brave enough to get into the box, or do we just need to keep making this a Democrat show? Because the poll numbers speak for themselves. All right, the poll numbers speak for themselves, MAGA. Really, the only thing Trump supporters should be doing is getting in the box and issuing public apologies. Right? MAGA needs to start issuing public apologies, because believe it or not, MAGA, if you go out and do your real research and you check credible sources, the damage, and I'm speaking economically, the damage Donald Trump has done is irreversible. And a lot of economists are saying it's irreversible. It's not like he can do something and then get himself out of this. And I'll give you another example of something Donald Trump did that is just proof of this. So we all heard that he's supposedly talking to China. Did you all hear that? He's talking to China, and somehow a deal is going to be made. And all you got to do is go look into this stuff, MAGA. Is Donald Trump and China talking? And I got reports that what Donald Trump said about that is actually not true. All right. And I got proof. Now, I'm going to hit play. This came from the mainland. I'm going to play this, and MAGA, after I play it, I want you to come in the box, all right, and then tell me what you think. All right, so we're going to get this on the record. This is China's response to Donald Trump saying that they are in talks right now, all right? And it's very important to do this, all right? Hold on.
近来美方不断是有消息称中美之间正在谈判，甚至将会达成协议。请问您能否证实双方有没有开始谈判？
这些都是假消息。据我了解，中美双方并没有就关税问题进行磋商或谈判，更谈不上达成协议。这场关税战是由美方发起的，中方的态度是一贯的 明确的打奉陪到底，谈大门敞开，对话谈判必须是平等、尊重、互惠的。
Okay, so that sound real clear to me that China is not playing, ladies and gentlemen. And I know some of the Trump supporters, they don't understand what they were saying, so I'm going to translate that for you. That means Beijing has denied Trump's claims that negotiations were being conducted. Yes, as the competent Department of Foreign and Economic and Trade Relations, I would like to emphasize that there are currently no economic trade negotiations between China and the United States. This is the Chinese Commerce Ministry speaking. Quote, any claims about the progress of China and the U.S. economic trade negotiations are groundless and have no factual basis. And so what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, I gave it to him in both Mandarin, all right? I gave it to you in Mandarin and I gave it to you in English. And if you can't pick up what we just left on the floor for you, MAGA, shame on you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and send these Trump supporters where they belong. Straight to hell.
Silence.
All right. I'll try to be a little nicer, ladies and gentlemen. I know I've ruined their breakfast, lunch, and dinner and everything, all right, in between, but that's just what it has to be. To the people who are getting triggered in the audience by the way that I'm running this special broadcast, do us all a huge favor.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
So one last thing, and I'm going to open up the box. We're almost close to 100 days in the Trump administration, and that's when Donald Trump will get his official report card. We already know what the poll numbers are saying. And Donald Trump knows this is not good where he's at based on his numbers. So what we'll do is we'll go through some of the things he's mentioned this morning. First thing he woke up and did was he blamed the Democrats. Democrats are fighting like hell to keep unalivers and all these other criminals solidly in the United States of America. They have gone crazy and are only getting worse. This is Donald Trump's back against the wall. He's trying to make it look like he's doing a good job when it comes to securing our borders. All right, now this is the thing he polled highest in, and we all know that he's really not doing a good job because a majority of Americans do not like the fact that Donald Trump is denying people due process in the process of trying to secure our borders. The second thing he did, he posted, was gas and grocery prices are way down. Just like I said they would be. Eggs are plentiful and down 87%. Nice. Well, a couple of days ago, he actually said it was 93 to 94%. Now he's saying 87%. And we all know those percentages, those are not true. Grocery prices are not down. They're actually up by thousands and thousands of percentage points. So he knows the issues that he's supposed to be addressing, and he's trying to make it look like they've been addressed. And then this one, I am not happy with the Russian strikes on Kyiv. Not necessary and very bad timing. Vladimir, and in all caps, he says, stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are losing their life. Let's get the peace deal done. So when it comes to obviously all those issues, whether it's talking about domestic issues or foreign affairs, Donald Trump knows he's not performing. And the only way out of this in his world, instead of doing the work, is to lie and say that all of these issues have been addressed when we all know they haven't been addressed. So what we're going to do one more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send Donald Trump, all right, in terms of the way that he's running this country and his presidency. Let's go ahead and do what we got to do and send it where it belongs. Straight to hell. We don't buy it. We don't buy it.
Silence, you MAGA.
All right. I think I've gotten enough out this morning doing what I do. All right. And now, like I said, it's time to hear from everyday Americans to see what they think about the state of affairs that's going on in this country. If you're a Trump supporter, please send Big Zeus a guest request. And what I'll do is I will bring you right on up here and we'll help you. We will help you get out of that cult. And we're not going to play any games with you, all right? But because the burden is now on you. You can go look at these poll numbers yourself, all right? And you can see it for yourself. You can hear Donald Trump's words yourself. You could go look up the stuff with whatever algorithms and stuff you use. All right. At this point, it's really time for you to start apologizing for allowing yourselves to be manipulated like this. This is sad. This is sad. If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat and I will bring you right on up here. We do not have all morning. You see, oh my goodness. See, they don't want to come up here, so we'll do it. We'll keep the Democrat show going. Good morning, Moo. How are you?
What's up, Zeus? What's going on, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm very thrilled today, honestly, because the poll numbers are out and we were right.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm going to be very specific in who I say is right here because our problems are much bigger than Donald Trump. Your problem is capitalism. Okay. And the people who are right was Bernie Sanders. The people who are right is the progressives. The ones who told you that if you demonize the government, right? You demonize the government and you say only the private institutions can get things done. And that's opened up the private institutions to come in and take away your Social Security, your Medicare, your Medicaid. And the reason they're doing that is because the capitalists want that money for themselves.
Really?
You've built a society where you say, get money no matter what, no matter who it hurts, no matter who you have to run through, as long as you're making money for yourself. And then we're curious as to why these young people have no empathy. We're curious as to why, well, you don't feel for these people's rights. Yeah, man, I want to make money. I'm a capitalist, right?
Yeah.
So you're demonizing the government, but at the same time, anytime the government's had to make a law or a rule or a regulation, it's because private industry has messed up. So how can you tell me that private industry is more efficient than government when they've had to step in and regulate those people because they keep screwing up all the time? How can you tell me the government's inefficient when the reason Apple's been able to become a billion-dollar company is because they borrowed a bunch of technology from the government to make those iPhones? How can you tell me? How can you tell me that the government is inefficient when they invented the internet that you're watching Zeus on right now?
Thank you. Get a move.
How is this a narrative that Americans are okay with anymore? How are you still buying into this, MAGA and people in general? Capitalism has failed. Donald Trump is a product of your capitalism. In the name of efficiency, bring in Elon Musk and his massive private bureaucracy to take care of our public bureaucracy. How does that make any sense? Elon Musk has had to been bailed out by the public bureaucracy, by the government, many times. In 2008, Tesla was going out of business, and they're going out of business again. Let me tell you something that your folks may not know. And MAGA, I want you to listen up right here. The capitalists have groomed you all. They've groomed you all for a very long time, all of you. Do you know why Americans like trucks, Zeus?
Why do they like trucks?
Why do they like trucks?
Oh.
Oh, it's manly, right? It's manly. Well, that's what they've told you. That's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
Why do they want you to think that? Because back in the day, we made a tariff deal. Yeah, a tariff deal. There has been a 25% tariff on American trucks for over a half a century.
Wow.
It's there to this day.
Wow.
And why is that tariff there? Well, because, the Japanese wanted to bring their cars here. And the Japanese knew that beating the Americans in the auto industry was the way to recover after they suffered in World War II. So we worked out a tariff deal with them. And that's why you all like trucks. It's not that they're manly. It's the government, the capitalists, the
Go ahead.
The private industry has... So you have capitalists in your government. And they listen to so the same capitalists that are in your government are the ones that leave your government and go work at the private industries that you guys love so much. And then you bring them back into your government and wonder why they're screwing you. This makes I'm going to tell you right now, and then I'll end, Zeus, because I've taken up a lot of your time and I appreciate you.
You're doing an outstanding job. Keep doing it.
I appreciate you. Here's one example I'm going to tell you of how you can see our empire is not just a recession. This is beyond a recession. If we stick with capitalism, you're talking about a full collapse. Okay, this is end stage capitalism here. Okay, if you keep on going with this, Your public institutions will be gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. They've already sold you down the river. We had the chance to be a manufacturing country after World War II. The capitalists took those jobs and sent them to China, and they built up their entire country now because of us. Wow. And now we borrow money for them to conduct war. That's how we stay in power. We borrow money from our allies to stay in power.
Wow.
Tariff those allies, they're not going to buy your treasury bonds anymore. South Korea is not giving us rare minerals because China told them not to. Do you think China could have done that 50 years ago?
No, absolutely not.
We were in a WAR for South Korea. But guess what? It doesn't matter because China's on the upswing and we're on the downswing.
Wow.
People are always going to side with the country that's on the upswing and not on the downswing. That's pretty much it for me, my man.
Well. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, W Moo in the chat, he brought it this morning. You MAGA demons got cooked. I mean, when you keep the door to the floor like that, there's really nothing else you can say. No lies detected. That was a lot. I mean, that was a lot right there, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, and this is why it's important to have shows like this where you get different angles and different perspectives about what's going on. All right, but one thing is crystal clear, MAGA. You are wrong, and just look at the poll numbers. All right, it's a fatality. Ange. Do we have any Trump supporters out there that are willing to get in the box and try to defend this guy behind me still, despite the poll numbers? Because you all know those poll numbers. And again, I don't want you to mention Joe Biden. I don't want you to mention Vice President Kamala Harris. That's not necessary. All right. Oh, someone wrote, you won 4 years of Trump. Demi, I can't even invite you. I can't even invite you, Demi. Send me a guest request, all right? All right? And I can bring you right on up here, and we'll hear from you, assuming you're someone that's not on a backup account, because you know these people, they're on backup accounts coming in here listening to Big Zeus, all right? Because they're too intimidated. They do not want to get in the box and end up having to have a one-on-one experience with me, because they know exactly what I'll do. W Zeus. Okay, let's go, ladies and gentlemen, to the next panelist. All right, MWB, welcome to the show. How are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Just, tending to the affairs as usual. Yes. But how can we help you this morning?
I love listening to your shows. Everything you're saying is absolutely right. MAGA, the thing that you guys are not realizing is if you have a high schooler that's about to graduate this year, I don't think you guys know how expensive it is these days for us to go to college.
Okay. Go for it. You want to go ahead? Go ahead and show them. Tell them the truth.
And the problem is, that's not just for the kids. That's for the adults, too. If you want to go back for your master's degree, the average college range is from $5,000 all the way up to what, 200 and something thousand.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Good
and
Lord.
that's talking a variety of schools, from your local schools, and to the top schools in the country. Do your research, because what he's doing right now, it's not helping you. It's destroying what we have. We had a good process.
Yeah.
Biden had something good going on.
Yeah.
But no, you guys don't want that. You guys don't want that.
Why do you think these Trump supporters do not want to be learned? They don't want to be educated. What do you think is going on in their psychosis, perhaps?
I think it goes back to what they've been taught. It's like what you've heard around people you love, your families, your friends. That's when they talk about the woke mind virus, that's what it is. What this MAGA trash is, it's like a virus in your head.
Yeah.
But you have to double check more than once. Listen to people. Go around people who are not from your culture and learn why they're being affected by this.
Thank you. I mean, and to me, that's a simple thing to do, right? But you know what they do, MWB? They turn around and they say, well, I can't do that because I don't want to be woke. You ever heard them say that kind of stuff?
Yep.
I don't want to be woke. I want to be asleep. I want to be deep in a coma somewhere. Uninformed, unintelligent. Ain't that something?
Right? It's disgusting. And I think that's another thing. They want the kids to be just like that. But no. These kids need to be just as woke as ever.
Yeah.
You need to stop trying to suppress books. Stop trying to suppress what they listen to, because this is how they learn. They might have a kid who's LGBTQ. They might have a person with a disability.
Thank you.
Let them learn.
Yep. You ain't telling no lies up in here. This is what it's all about. Let these children learn. And as a matter of fact, you should also pick up a book, Gregory, in the chat. You should pick up a book one of these days and actually try to read it and learn from it as well, right? Comprehension is part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you want a good book recommendation, try a book called Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper.
Okay, all right.
It's from a perspective of the disabled person.
Okay, Out of My Mind. Well, I'm going to ask to the MAGA out there, please go ahead and read that book. And then if you could, please come on back up and let us know what you learned from reading that book, all right? Because that's important, and I agree. I might have to check it out, too. All right, well, MWB, listen, I thank you so much for having the courage to come on up here and tell the truth like that. I appreciate it, all right?
No problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat, MWB. See, this is what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get this truth, this real truth out here, all right? Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to Keisha. How are you doing?
Hey, Zeus, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. And you?
Hey, Zeus. Hey, Zeus.
Yes. Talk to him.
Ain't no deals on the table. Ain't nothing on that table but a Big Mac meal and a Diet Coke. Ain't nobody. Zeus.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody calling to talk to the Iron Boy King. Nobody. And I'm calling him the Iron Boy King because, baby, he folding. He folded more than the arms on a pair of eyeglasses, Zeus. He folded worse than an unopened dryer sheet. He just folding, Zeus. He bowed down.
Get him.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus.
Yes,
the
please.
bow down bully has struck again. He know good and well China ain't talking to him. China said they don't care what he do. They ain't budging. They moving full steam ahead. So he could just stop that line. He negotiating with himself, Zeus. I guess when he sit in the mirror and put a picture up of the president of China, he think that's a negotiation.
Yeah.
Let it go, Donald Trump. Them folks say steady you.
No lies detected.
He thought he put his boots on. He thought he was stepping in the swamp, but he stepped in cement and now he's stuck.
Woo! Get him, Keisha. And what about his poll numbers? What about those poll numbers? He's working so hard.
Listen, my grandma can have better poll numbers at the strip club and she jumped on one. If my grandma was dancing on the pole at the strip club, her numbers would be better than Donald Trump's right now. They tanking and they sinking, Zeus. They sinking worse than a swimmer who don't even know how to swim in the deepest part of the lake, Zeus.
Wow. And is it the Democrats' fault that he's having all these problems, or what do you think it is?
It ain't got nothing to do with us, but we laughing about it, Zeus. we ain't got control of nothing.
Nope.
So they can't blame the Democrats. He's going on with that lie. What he need to blame is that overweighted toupee that he done got done to make him for this term.
Right there.
And the people that enable him to mess up the country.
Wow, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Another round of truth from Takesha. I mean, you would think right now his supporters, they would be, willing to walk out of the cult. They would be willing to, hand in their letters of resignation, right? But they don't they're not trying to do that yet. What's going on?
Zeus, he gonna go and blame the folks that sank on the Titanic. He gonna try to say it's their fault. He gonna try to blame anybody he can. Look at a sinner that looking like he didn't get the socks he wanted for Christmas on that picture. Look how sad like he wanted some race car socks and they bought him some SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Look how he looking on that picture, Zeus.
That's somebody's daddy. That's somebody's husband right there. That's somebody's man.
Ain't nobody. Your wife don't want you. She won't even let you touch her when you don't wash your hands. Donald Trump, let it go.
What do you think about him begging Putin today to stop?
Let me tell you something.
Putin, he said stop, but it sounded freaky when he said it, in my opinion.
Let me tell you something. He sounded just like Melania when he said come to bed. She said stop. She said stop playing with me, Donald. You know good well that ain't finna happen. But look, Zeus, Putin right now sitting back laughing because see Donald Trump talked all that tough talk.
He sure
did. Tried to make the American people think that Putin was so afraid of him.
Right.
And Putin ain't did nothing he told him to do, Zeus. And MAGA still think this the strong man. See, when they saw them cards he made with all them different bodies and all them different
the Rambo chest on it. Yeah,
they fell for it, Zeus. They thought he was the strongest man, and now Zeus he the weakest link, and they don't know how to unlink themselves. They still chained to him, but they can't find the key to unlink themselves, Zeus.
Wow.
And I'm gonna be laughing.
Me too. You notice they don't want to come up here and argue with us like they, I call it tongue wrestling. They don't got time to do it anymore, Takesha, because they see what we see now and they're going, oh my gosh.
Zeus, I just been laughing ever since yesterday when he said he was negotiating with China and China immediately came out and said it's a lie.
Yeah.
They ain't talking to him and they ain't trying to talk to him.
They're not talking.
To show the American people, we don't need y'all.
Thank
y'all
you.
Let Donald Trump fool y'all in thinking China can't survive without the U.S. But the U.S. can't survive without China. Y'all put the wrong person in office that didn't know what he was doing the first time, and he's showing y'all he really don't know what he doing the second. And y'all still lapping it up like cats with milk.
Cats? Because cats love them some milk, don't they?
They love to lap that milk up, Zeus. They love it. That's all MAGA doing. They just lapping and capping. Lapping and capping. Capping mean you're lying.
Yeah.
You're lying and lapping. You're lapping and capping.
That part. So, Takesha, let me ask you a question. Earlier, a lot of people were mad at you and us because we wanted Donald Trump to fail. How are you feeling about that now? Do we still want him to fail? Do you feel bad about wanting him to fail? Because his poll numbers show he's failing. Do you feel bad about his poll numbers?
Absolutely not, Zeus. Absolutely not, Zeus. Zeus,
me either.
I told you I did not want him to succeed. And I'm getting what I want because I want him to go down like the Titanic. The reason I wanted him to fail is so that some of these strongholds that he got over MAGA mind can be broke. They can become the people they were before this so-called movement because he got a lot of their minds under control. So if they see that he's not what he claimed to be, maybe someone will come out the cold.
Thank you. It's coming from a good place. Yeah, I agree with you.
I would rather the country to go through some hard stuff for these folks to go back to the real God instead of the one they done made.
Amen.
And if that's a sacrifice I gotta take, Zeus, I'm willing to save souls through that way.
Me too.
Zeus,
you right.
It look like I'm gonna get what I want. Cause this man is failing at every turn he takes. You talking about a Trump train that done derailed off the track? This is it, Zeus.
This is it. Because, it's funny, right? The Project 2025, in all seriousness, is a dangerous thing.
It is.
But he surrounded himself with people who can't even think. And they can't even execute on any of this stuff. So
Zeus?
Yeah.
I'm going right back to my scripture.
Go for it.
Didn't I tell you that scripture said that the Lord was going to put people over us who were like children, who were unlearned and didn't know nothing, Zeus?
Yep.
That scripture is being fulfilled. Because those folks don't know nothing but how to grift, how to try to get over on people, and how to tell the greatest lies that nobody believes but MAGA.
Exactly. Listen, you from your mouth to God's ears.
Absolutely.
All righty then. Well, listen, Takesha. You know what? You made me feel real great this morning. All right. I appreciate your angles.
I'm going to keep laughing.
All right. Me
I'm
too.
enjoying it myself.
All right. Me too. Takesha. Yes.
I'm gonna see if I can call China if they'll talk to me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Please. They'll probably give you a little more airtime. Yeah. They'll give you more airtime than they'll give him because at least they know you mean business. There you go. All right. W Takesha. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Any Trump supporters want to come on up here while we're having this is a bit of a comedy hour at this point because we all know y'all ain't really got much to say at this point. I mean, I'm still laughing. Oh my goodness. Any Trump supporters out there, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right on up here. We will drill, baby, drill. Oh, who do we got? Good morning, Mary. Mary, are you there? How are you doing, Mary? Good morning. Mary, how are you?
I'm fine. And no, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I wanted to tell you something. So I'm an old lady, right?
Okay.
And I never ever voted in my life till first time Trump ran, I didn't vote because I thought I hated him before he ever ran for president. I thought he ain't gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Second time I voted for Biden. Third time I voted for Kamala. But this is what I want to tell you. I've been watching and learning because I know nothing about politics. I started out watching Isaiah Martin.
Okay.
I learned a lot. And then I watched Parker. I like you. I love watching you in the morning. Then I watched Parker and I watched Dean. And this is what I've noticed.
Okay.
You guys are having trouble getting MAGA people up here now. You know why? Because they know what you're saying is true and they can't really argue with you. All you guys. I mean, the MAGA people they'll say what they want to say in the chat, but they won't face you. Ain't that something?
Yeah. You think that's really what it is? Do you think deep down inside, these people know that they've been lied to and taken advantage of?
I think they do, but they're on still stand by them, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
You guys scare them. You scare them because what you're saying is the truth, and they know. Oh, when I first started watching Isaiah, well, he don't do it now because he's running for Congress, but
correct.
He cooked him. He cooked him.
Yeah.
He cooked every one of them.
Cooked
and
them.
So do you. You do it in a nicer way.
Thank you. Because I got to be nice.
Yeah. But I just want to tell you, I love you, and I'm learning from you. I take notes.
Okay.
And I ordered me a Constitution book. I went to college and everything, but I'm old. I don't remember much about the Constitution. And that was my worst subject, history.
Yeah.
So I do. It's supposed to be coming today or tomorrow. Got me a Constitution book coming.
Good. That's what we need to hear. And I'm glad that you're not just listening to what we're doing, but you're also taking on the responsibility of actually doing your own research and looking into these things as well.
Yes.
That's really the main part of what's going on. A lot of people won't do that. So I'm proud of you, all right?
I have to say, I love my governor. We have a good governor.
What state are you in?
Illinois.
Okay, Illinois. Okay. I know. He's a good guy.
Yes,
he stands for the right thing. He has some people out there that I wish wouldn't be there, because these people, they support, the orange guy, but
Well, he just said that he's cutting off all, what did he say? He's cutting up. See, that's why I have to take notes.
Okay.
I have a bad memory.
Well, it's understandable, but your heart's in the right area, and I'm glad you voted for Vice President Kamala Harris, all right? That really does mean a lot to me, all right, Mary?
All right.
All right. I want you to continue to watch this broadcast and keep up the good work you're doing, all right? Keep fighting for what's right, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, W Mary in the chat.
Can you tell the lady out there she doesn't know who Isaiah Martin was and how she hold of him? All she got to do is look up Isaiah Martin, right?
Yes. Yep.
He's on every night, but it's late. See, if I don't get an old lady nap, I fall asleep on him.
Yeah.
I got to get my old lady
He comes
nap.
on late at night. It's usually around 10 o'clock my time, I think.
10 to 11. Sometimes 11:30.
Yeah. I'm on the West Coast, so but he's actively involved in politics. He's ran to be in Congress. I think he's in the process of getting approved or something. I think they're holding him up or something.
Well, now he's got to wait till November because they don't want. See, I've learned a little bit.
Yeah.
But they don't want him in there because Trump wants to keep it You know, because then there's a Democrat in there. Not could you imagine Isaiah Martin and Crockett? Oh my God.
Yeah. They know what's coming. The storms are coming, Mary, and they know it's not the storm they were hoping for, but it's actually the real storm. All right.
You ever thought about running for something?
No, I've thought about it, and I decided, you know what, I got other more pressing things to do, but I'll definitely do a great job assisting those who want to. All right,
Yeah,
Mary?
I know you will.
Thank you. But you never
Well,
know.
I love you, and I love watching you every day, and I am keeping them notes.
All right. Well, you know what? Keep up the great work. W. Mary in the chat. You're welcome. All right. Oh, so sorry. Oh my goodness. Let me see, who is this? Look what the cat drug in. It's so interesting, Red Lady Red. You got a new profile picture.
What? Okay.
I gotta ask you. Last time we spoke, when I dropped you and did what I did you turn around and report Big Zeus?
No, I don't report people, Zeus.
Oh, okay, I was concerned because it happened, and I said that's just wrong.
Why you
all right?
don't go blaming me? I actually like your show. That's why I come here. Duh.
I figured you did. I figured you did. Well, what do you like about the show, if you don't mind? Because you said that, and I got to test to see if it's real.
It's funny. It's funny watching y'all.
That's it. This is just a place
funny watching y'all act like y'all not Americans. And it's funny watching y'all think that whatever this country go through, like y'all gonna be able to miss it. Like just because y'all didn't vote for Trump, like it's gonna be a bag that say, okay, these is the Trump supporters, these the non-Trump supporters. No, y'all ass gonna go down too.
Oh, okay. So you think it's funny watching people's 401ks disappear?
Okay, when my 401k, when I had to take out my 401k when Obama was in office because he came in and they did all that cutting. Why y'all don't have this same smoke then?
Was TikTok around? Was TikTok around when Obama was in office?
Social media was around. You have
I'm asking you, was TikTok?
MySpace. It don't matter what it was. You still had avenues. You had YouTube. You had all type of stuff. You had people that was complaining about the same stuff we're talking about today then.
No.
Yes, it was. Y'all just
you know what the difference? I'm gonna be
y'all just
Red.
For it
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Y'all.
Let me ask you a question.
Until it affect them.
Let me ask you, do you think Obama is smarter than Trump?
I don't know. Who's smarter than who? I don't care.
This is just whatever your opinion is. Because
I don't look at people like that. Oh, is you smarter than this person? Is you smarter than that? No, I go out for what people are doing.
Well, what is Donald Trump doing? I just gave you his report card. He's not doing good right now when it comes to the economy, right?
I came in at the end.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean when he say he's not doing? Only problem that I have.
Have you looked at his poll numbers when it comes to him handling, things like what's going on in Ukraine? People are saying he's not really doing that good. Securing the border, it used to be 65%.
You said people is saying that. That don't mean it's true. Because
voters.
Just like we getting up here, we forming our own opinions and
no.
what we want to say. They can do that too.
Okay, so do you believe that the price of eggs has came down 93 to 94%? You believe that? Because that's what he is saying.
I'm not going to put no percentage on it, but they came down some.
He said no.
The eggs here not $10 no more.
Hey, Red, he said it came down 93, 94%. Do you believe that?
No.
Okay, so that means he's lying.
But you got to think, eggs at $10 a carton, that's like a lot. And they most definitely have came down from $10. They not as cheap as they used to be, like 10 years ago.
What about him saying gas is $1.98 in some places? You ever seen gas that cheap?
No, not from over 6 years. But
yeah, you said
I know gas here. Gas where I'm at most definitely went down.
Oh, what did it go down to?
The gas is sitting a little under $4 when it was almost $5.
That's a long way away from $1.98. What about him saying grocery prices have came down? Honestly, you go out and buy stuff. Is it getting cheaper?
The stuff has not went down.
Okay, so then maybe I should believe these polls that are coming out where people are saying that he's not doing that good.
I mean, how fast do you think it posed to happen?
Well, within his first 100 days. How
said-
many more days? How many more days does he get until it's 100 days?
I think like maybe a few. Sometime this week, ain't it?
About 6 more days. So do you think in 6 days he will be able to recover the trillions and trillions of dollars that have been erased? And we call it, you know what generational wealth is? Do you think generation?
Since we want to bring up generational wealth.
Yeah. Do you think he can
under
get that
Biden-
back? No.
under Biden, do you know he literally transferred all the wealth power to the wealthy?
If you could show me that, I would love to
All
see
you
it.
gotta do is go look it up.
Where?
Look at the wealth gap.
Where do I go look up
people
this?
like me and people? Well, I don't know how much you make, but
Where do I go look up this information about Biden?
50%
Okay.
Can I speak?
Well, you didn't give me an answer.
Over 50% of Americans only
Now
have
you care about
3%.
percentages?
Only.
Now you care about percentages.
Because
Earlier you said you don't care about percentages.
Half of people is a lie. You pay attention when something
93. Listen, when I brought up those egg prices, when I brought up those egg prices, Red, see, I caught you. I said, he said the egg prices have came down 93 to 94%. You fixed your lips and told me you don't care about percentages.
No, I didn't.
Now you're giving me a 50% issue.
Goodness, don't try to twist my words.
So Red Lady,
but it don't matter. It don't matter. This is affecting over 50% of this country, right?
If you could give me a source.
We only got 3% wealth power.
Red Lady, Red, I can't get jiggy.
People have only 3% wealth power, and the wealthy have 97%. Make it make sense.
Red Lady, Red.
And you know this true.
I can't get jiggy.
Sit here and y'all can talk all that shit and act like that's not what really matters.
Now you done got me in trouble with my mama. Now you got me in trouble with my mama.
Sorry,
Zeus.
I'm sorry, mama.
No, you ain't. No,
yes,
you ain't. See, no. And see, this is
why
what
matters. How do 97% of wealth power belongs to the least people in the world? That's the stuff we need to be focused on. They got us focusing on the wrong shit.
Red. Ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I do to the MAGA demon right there. Red Lady Red, you can't even contain yourself. You can't get your story straight. You can't keep the facts straight. You can't keep that lie on track, all right? And that's why I knew you were done when we started talking percentages. 1 minute they matter, and the next minute they don't. We're talking 93, 94%. Then you drop to 50, and then you bring it back up to 87%. Red Lady Red, I appreciate that you come to this show to get your daily dose of truth, but it's obvious you only come in here to get a good look at me, Big Zeus, because you know I'm one of the most handsome on the planet, all right? And in the meantime and in between time, Red Lady Red, unfortunately, you tried to climb Mount Olympus today, and your mouth, you just kept using profanity and things like that. You know I can't bring folks like that around my mama. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Oh my Lord, that is a lot to deal with right there. That is a lot to deal with, and I can only imagine having to, okay, what do you need? You know, if you call people up like that, you got to be like, oh, okay, what is it? Okay, it's the carburetor. All right, it's the fuel injectors. All right. I'll be right over there. And he'd be like, click, and then you'd be going, okay, yeah, sure. They'll call you back 30, 40 minutes later. Are you coming? Sure. W Zeus. Good morning, Straight Facts. Hi, Straight Facts.
Good morning, Zeus. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right, minus what I just went through. I mean, boy, oh boy, that was something.
Oh my goodness, Zeus, that was a lot, and I mean a whole lot. She came up in here and said it's funny. Why would you think that something this serious is funny? That tells us all that she is a clown. All of them are straight clowns. That's the reason why Trump is clowning them right now, and they have a hard time getting inboxes. They run around here trying to take our voice from us because they know that we were absolutely correct. We told y'all. MAGA.
We did.
Didn't we, Zeus?
We sure did. W straight back, WJP Farms, JBT Farms.
Zeus.
Yeah.
We told them.
Yeah.
And then they're so discombobulated that Trump coming out here talking about, oh, I'm ending the trade war with China. Oh, it's done. And then Caroline went right on out in that press office and said, no, he ain't.
Lies on top of lies, MAGA. And guess who's falling for them? You are.
Leon must say he gonna step back for a couple of days a week. His work has been done. He's done a good job knowing doggone well he's lying. 71% Tesla is down. He had to go back over there and talk to them shareholders because they were telling him that you better figure it out, MAGA. I got one question for y'all that I keep asking, and no one is actually answering this question. And the question is, Zeus, let me ask them.
Yeah.
How many more days are you guys gonna go without any deep state being arrested? When? Is it today? Is it tomorrow? Is it the next day? Because every day that goes by and we aren't seeing big name Democrats being walked out of the House, FBI running up in there to, everything that y'all voted for, every day that goes by and we don't see any of that, it's starting to look and smell like what? Like y'all been conned. When I say Zeus, I am getting my life right now watching these MAGAs, these blaggers twist themselves into pretzels like Miss Red just did.
Yeah.
She don't know that the joke is on her, Jack. She is the jester. She is the clown dancing upon us. She is the one that is believing the lies. She's coming in here with all the fake propaganda and then wondering why Zeus doesn't want to be bothered with her. Even though, Zeus, we know you're the most handsomest on the app.
Thank you.
He's getting no play, Zeus, because men like you don't date women that don't know what are the three branches of the government.
I didn't say it, but Straight Facts is saying it. She's speaking.
Men like you, I know.
You keep on going, though.
I know your friend Nutty out there. You seen him. He out there talking about Scott.
Nutty up here. Nutty can get it too if Nutty don't relax. He better relax, Nutty, because we don't.
Red is out here trying to flirt with y'all, and y'all know I gotta give it to him raw and uncut. These men don't like women out here on lives talking about the color of their private parts. We don't want to know any of that information, Red. We don't want to know that you wear a wig and you out here funking and faking for the funk for Dan Trail to buy you a wig. We don't want to understand what your bust down look like up underneath that wig. Stop it. Stop, Red, because you're making yourself look like the clown that you actually are. If you just shut up, y'all just like Rump, if you just close your mouth for 1 second and listen, maybe you'll have a husband.
Hey.
Maybe you'll get maybe you'll get somebody.
Just because I'm laughing doesn't mean I agree.
Dude, you know I'm gonna go ahead on and bring it to it, because she came up in here, she acted too much of a fool and got everybody thinking that that's how we all act. That is not how we all act. We know how to behave ourselves and talk about some truths around here. We don't all gotta be sent to the lake of fire,
No.
Red. It's just you. It's only you, Red. 92% of us said that he was going to do exactly what he's doing right now.
Thank you.
You were not a believer Bieber. And the poor you, Blagger, Miss MAGA, Miss Red, you are the last one to know that the messaging that they are trying to come up with is not going to come, because nobody, and I mean not one person is going to be arrested, just like he didn't arrest Hillary Clinton, because you have to break a law.
Yes.
In order to be arrested.
Thank you.
Y'all, you know, so I'm about to get on up out of here. I had fun with y'all this morning. I
All
thank
right.
you guys so much.
Thank you.
And you guys stay safe out here in these TikTok streets, because you know they tripping.
Amen, amen. Ladies and gentlemen, W straight facts, no lies detected. Love you too. Woo, my stomach is hurting today. I have never laughed so much, since Trump's been in office. But today is honestly, it's a hilarious day because the poll numbers speak for themselves. They get up here like Red did, and you know, she did her thing to try to get up here and try to defend Donald Trump, but ultimately nobody's buying it. All right. Oh my goodness! Did I see that Asler has been allowed back into the United States? Asler, are you there, Asler? I want. Okay, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an offer I can't refuse right here because I've been monitoring this situation. Asler, come on up here. We can get this out of the way. You went on vacation out of the country, Venezuelan guy.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. I got your souvenir from Colombia, man. Just give me some address or how to let you send your gift, man.
What is it? What
great
is it?
time in Colombia.
What
It's a t-shirt. I buy you a t-shirt saying Colombia is beautiful, so I want to send it to you. Just
Okay. We'll work on that. Well, first things first. I'm surprised you made it back into the United States. Tell us about tell us about how much you had to pay to do that. How did you get back in?
Just go to my profile. I got it on video yesterday when I arrived to USA.
Yeah.
They were nice and great, man.
Did you wear that Trump bracelet?
Yeah, I got it right here with me all the time.
So they saw the Trump bracelet. They saw you wearing a Trump.
Well, I don't know. I can't.
Did they go through your cell? Did they go through your cell phone?
Oh hell no! You know, this is America, man. America is beautiful. You know.
Oh, okay. What port? What port? What port did you come in from?
Houston, straight from Bogota, Colombia.
And then they said
you know, I live in Houston, right?
Yeah. So when you got back in, they said, Asler, we've been waiting for you, and you're all good. You're all good.
No, man. You know, this is immigration. They got a long line. I got to wait online. It was a platform right there. They just asked me for my passport, asked me where I'm coming from, take the picture, and say, welcome to America. This is America, man. I love America.
And they know, and they really do know you're back in the United States right now. Because I noticed I can't see you, or maybe it's just this phone. They know you're back in the United States, though.
All I can tell you is go to my profile. You can change the video, man.
No. I'll take your word, Asler. Well, all I can say is this: you lucked out. You lucked out, and maybe it's because of that Trump bracelet. So maybe that's the thing you should tell. Maybe that's the thing. Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you this. I was in a plane, right? It was a United airline, right? And they got these people on the airlines, and they saw my bracelet, and they asked me, hey, where you buy it? I go like, hey, you can buy it in Amazon. I got the flag, I got the hat, everything from Amazon, just for Trump, man. I love this guy. So these people on the plane asked me for that. Even Colombian people, you know, they love Trump. So I don't know why you're talking about too much about he's doing back. Even the gas right here is $2.45 right now.
Okay, so he said it's $1.98, Asler. So Asler,
well, I don't know. It's right here, Houston is $2.45. That's what I want to tell you.
All right, but that's not as low as he said it is, and all the other stuff he's spilling on. Asler, I got some bad news for you, Asler. You're not safe. I'm gonna be honest with you. They've actually started. They've actually started doing extra crackdowns. And I just want to make sure you keep in touch with us, all right? Because I will. Because you know you've done something that a lot of people have a lot of questions about. I don't know how they let this black guy from the United States, who's Venezuelan, travel to Colombia and then come back into the United States.
Yes, sir. This is America. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm just saying it could be trouble, and you're not in the clear, brother. So
don't worry.
Thank you for checking in with us. And you know what? I thought about it. Maybe I don't want that shirt that says, what did you say? It said something about Colombia. Maybe I don't need that shirt. Yeah. Now that I think of,
Brody, you don't need it. I just want to send it to you. That's it.
oh yeah, but that could actually make it look like I'm facilitating whatever it is that you're doing, and I think it's better that we just have a clear boundary, demarcation of separation. All right, but I'm gonna move on,
It's all
Asler.
right. I just told you I'm gonna bring it to you.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Well, what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen. That's Asler right there. Oh my goodness. Wait a second, I can't even drop
Back
you.
in America.
Yeah, I can't even drop you. I don't know what's going.
See, I got powers now. What is it?
Jeez, I can't even drop them, ladies and gentlemen. My phone froze. Asler,
All right,
what?
let me drop myself.
Yeah,
man.
drop
It was
yourself.
nice to
Yeah,
say
drop
hello to
yourself.
You know, I follow you.
Yeah,
All right,
please. I've had enough. I don't know what you've done to my show, but goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen. All right, W Zeus. How did you do that, Asler? I don't know where the heck your connection came from. I don't know if that's some of that Colombia, Venezuela connection, but don't do that to my show again. I'm glad you're okay, seriously, but you are lucky. I'm telling you, I got stories, and we've all known these stories are out there. You are lucky, but you're not in the clear, Asler. I got to let you know this because they got you in a database somewhere, and your background. Yeah, it's your background, your accent, and then you mix that with the countries you went and visited. You know what they say? You know what they say?
Open borders.
Right here.
With people pouring in, some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble. Could be trouble.
That's all I'm saying. Could be trouble. Could be trouble. All right, let's get to the box, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on this morning. Okay, now it shows me that Asler is in my box. How in the world is that working, ladies and gentlemen? How is he in my box? I don't know how this is happening. Yeah, it's so weird. Hold on. That is so weird. And alrighty then, I think I got it back under. Nope, I don't have it back under control. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Yeah, the entire app is glitching. I'm on pause. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? All right. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen, to be quite honest, but we will continue. We will try. All right, let me see.
Well, hello, my friend.
Hey, Shay. Okay, it works with you, isn't it?
Hi. Right. Yeah, it's been pretty glitchy this morning.
Yeah, I don't see the ability to, drop you or anything, so that's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, that is. It's very strange.
Yeah, but we'll continue. We'll just kind of have to, improvise, so to speak. But how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a while, my friend.
Thank you.
How's life? How's life?
Yeah, it's doing good. I woke up today. Great news. We talked about Donald Trump's poll numbers, and his supporters. They just don't want to admit that he's doing a terrible job. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, they don't. But here's what's so funny. This little part here. So he did beat his. He's second, right? He's second in the lowest approval rating, right? And you know why? Because he beat his own record. So if you see here, he was 44%. He's 44% approval rating, right?
Wow.
100 days, and then you got Biden at 54%. Oh man, what happened?
Wow.
Donald Trump in his first term were 45% his first 100 days. He got our Barack Hussein Obama at 62%. Oh, Bushy here is at 63%. So, he beat his own record. So we're proud of him.
Wow. W. Shay. Wow. Look at this, MAGA. His numbers are terrible. Congratulate. And are his numbers like that because, it is a Fox poll. Is that because of the Democrats doing things to him, Shay?
No, he does everything to himself. I mean, this is his own doing.
Wow.
What he does, because he thinks that he can run the country like he runs Trump Organization, that he can just knuckle down on people and they're going to do his will, do his bidding.
Yeah.
And that's not what's happening. See, where he stands, where he's lost his footing is everybody understands who he is, a clown in his first term. So the world leaders, including China, is like, yeah, we know how to deal with you now, right?
Yeah.
In his first term, everybody was kind of like, I'm not sure about this guy. Like, he's a little crazy. He might hit that red button. I'm not sure about this guy, right?
Right.
So he had some movement there, and I will agree that he could kind of bully people here and there on Twitter or whatever it was, and he could kind of do things because they didn't quite know who he is. Well, they know who he is now.
Yeah,
and they know he's a narcissist, which means he only operates on favor, on compliments.
Yep.
On everything going well, and so he is very uncomfortable with all the protesting going on. You know, they're going to do it again May 1st. He's very uncomfortable with what's going on. He's very uncomfortable with how things are looking, and he's running out of answers. He's running out of answers, and so it's really fascinating to see what's going on with him this time. And it's everything, like you said, Zeus. I've loved your show this morning because
thank you.
We are looking shiny as heck. I mean,
thank you. W to the Democrats.
W to the Democrats.
Love you too, Kabira. So,
and,
So you're saying we're looking shiny and all this other stuff. Do you think it's important, like Takesha was suggesting, that we go through this exercise like we're going through, or should Donald Trump? They should have just gotten rid of him a long time ago. They should have gotten rid of him maybe in first 20 days. They should have said this guy's no good. Or do you think there's something to this long period of suffering?
Well, I think Takesha's right. I think, and that's how I look at things too. Sadly, people have to learn the hard way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a parent, I can tell you sometimes a child's going to learn quick and sometimes a child's going to learn through the hard way, right? And I think that, you know, for a lot of them, they are just like Red Lady Red, and so many of them that are so deep into what they have been brainwashed to believe about the left that they won't even give the left a chance and won't even give that candidate a chance because and I know I grew up conservative. I was taught the same stuff that they spew out of their mouths, right?
Right.
Go against the government, right?
Yep.
Yet they're okay with the government mandating everything. It's weird. As long as it's a Republican in charge, right? They're okay with the government, you know, going at Harvard University. Even Candace Owens has called out the Trump administration for going after universities and their freedom of speech. You know, it's against the Constitution, right? So even she is saying none of this is right. That's very authoritarian. You know, they're under the guise of states' rights, but it's still state government in your life. It's still large government, guys, whether you like it or not.
Wait. Shay, Red Lady Red, she's upset with you. She says, I was never a Democrat. I was never a Republican. I think for myself.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You really don't. And you know, the thing is that, you know, when you come up here and you handle yourself the way you do, it's just really sad. You need to go take an etiquette class or class. You know what I'm saying? Class on being classy.
All right. Red Lady Red
did listen to you when you talk like that. Sorry.
Yeah. And this is and you know, Grandma always said, whatever you do it with love. Red Lady Red, we just gave you some feedback in love. You gotta knock it off.
You know you lost the argument. You know, when you start acting like that and you start acting like a fool, you're not representing your views very well, and you've lost the argument. Anytime anybody results into that, you know, you've debated for years on this app. When they get down to starting to scream at you and call you the N-word or start to go off the rails and their voice heightens and all that goes on, they know they've lost the argument.
Lost.
Number one.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, you're always calm, cool, and collected, and it just drives them nuts.
Yeah.
Right?
Because today, especially, the facts and the data are all on our side. Everyone in the country knows that he's not doing a good job.
No, they know. I mean, this is Fox News really, you know, saying, hey, you know, this isn't looking good. And the thing is
not like, Democrats saying that. It's Fox. It's him repeating it. He's going, you pay the tariff.
Yeah, we've all known that. known if you're going to raise the prices on companies to bring things in, they're going to not lose money, and they're going to raise the prices on the goods. That's capitalism 101.
Yeah.
Go read Adam Smith, go read about capitalism so you can understand that capitalism is good in so many ways, but just like every form of, socialism, communism, capitalism, all forms of things, there is extremes that cannot be good, right?
Exactly.
That includes capitalism, guys.
Exactly. And we're going to keep getting them. We're going to keep telling the truth, Shay, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, so I just think I'll leave with this, and it's just, all I know is that in the next 100 days, I think is through the summer, we're going to start to really see people like, wow, this is really affecting me now.
Yeah.
And when it's starting to affect them, they'll start to say, okay, and this is where the pendulum is going to swing, right?
Yep.
Watched it with Europe. They went through this electing conservatives, and now they've swung back. Even Canada. Canada was electing a conservative prime minister.
I remember.
Before Trump got elected.
And then what happened?
Now they're electing a liberal because they see it. They're like, whoa, if this is the way that the Maple MAGAs want and the MAGAs in America, no, I don't want that. That's not what I signed up for. I like conservative, whatever they call it, values and ideas and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is. This is racism. This is, the wealthy taking over. This is oligarchy. This is so much. Now they want to pay women $5,000 to have a baby.
What's that? I know what that looks like.
I'm going to pay my hospital bill.
You know what that's called in the streets? They call that if you're selling it, then it is what it is, right? Because there's a lot of people that do things for that $5,000. I'm just saying it.
I'm gonna highly recommend you not do that.
Thank you, because that's what he's facilitating, right? Yeah. W Shay in the chat. I mean, we know what it is.
I mean, when you've got to pay people, guys, the breeding farms, all of that stuff. Let's go back to Swazi, Germany. I'm sorry, I know y'all hate. We go back there every time, but that they were paying women to have babies.
Wow.
And right now, it's not saying in the fine print that it's only white women that are getting it, having white babies, but we'll see. We'll see. They're so focused on the birth rates and stuff that it's the birth dearth. Oh my God, yes, Ms. Fatno, yes, the birth dearth. Read that, and you'll be like, whoa.
Thank you.
Replacement theory and all that stuff that we've been warning you guys about. So we're just going to come out looking shiny. So stay with it, my friends.
Keep the fight going, everyone.
Excuse my French, mama, but it's called the Unfuck America Tour, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's what it's called.
Don't get me. And, that's powerful stuff that they're doing. So I just love it. I think the Democrats are getting organized and figuring out how we got to win the information system. But anyway, love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
All right.
See you later.
You too. W Shay. W Shay in the chat. No lies detected. Wild Man, you were in my chat a few seconds ago. Wild Man, you please send Big Zeus a guest request. I'll deal with you in short order. Because I need you to understand one thing. What's going on has been fully exposed. It's been fully revealed. And you, sir, you need to come clean to the American people, Wild Man. We've seen you in action, and Donald Trump is doing a number on you. Good morning, Ange.
That's good. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Sure can.
All right. I'm way in the north, way up in the woods. So I wasn't sure if you could hear me. So can I just say that Moo just totally, that was a mic drop. I don't know if he's still in here.
W Moo. Ange loved what you did this morning.
Absolutely. That was an absolute mic drop. So I hope you're still in here. Piggyback on Shay as well. I actually just heard about paying for people to have babies, the 5K. If anybody's listening out there, it's more than double than that to have a baby.
Whoa.
Just so you know. That's like that barely covers the hospital stay.
And how do you get the
$5,000?
5,000? That's what I want to know. Is it like, I want to have a baby with you, I got that 5,000? Is that how you get it, or do you actually got to go through this whole process of getting to know someone, or do Because imagine, Ange.
It's nasty.
Thank you.
Do we
I
have
just
to
can't
do
even
this
do.
with a conservative person?
Oh.
Because heck to the no. Anyway, I don't know if you've covered this, and it is a touchy subject, but it's ticked me off. But can we talk a little bit about the cabinet members? I know you've talked about, what do you call them? Pete
Keg's breath. Pete Keg's.
Keg's breath.
Yeah,
Okay,
Whiskey Pete, Whiskey Leaks, all of the names above.
So appropriate. But the RFK Jr. BS that he was spewing out of his mouth the other day, the first line he said was, kids with autism are destroying families. That was the very first line out of his stupid mouth. And I had people come in my live, and I was thinking, we got to disagree on this. Somebody in my live came in and said, what's the context? Not more than one person.
Really?
Yes. What's the context? What more context do you need? What more context? There's nothing beyond that he could have said that could take that away. Not one. Right. As a special educator of almost 2 decades, I've worked. This is ASD now, autism spectrum disorder. We do cover kids from all the way down to do need help, with toiling, and right up to like kids going to Harvard. Harvard. We do see that, but I can tell you right now, every single parent from one end to the other is never going to say that their child destroyed their family. Not one. And for my own child, all of those things that he said, he's not going to date, they're not going to play a sport, they're not going to work. My son has done all of them.
Congratulations.
Every single one of them.
Ange. See, so we're pushing back again against the misinformation and the lies and the hatred over here.
Yeah, what about the children, guys? What about the children? And there are adults that have autism as well, and they want to say they're Christian and say that these kids are a burden and destroy families. You make me sick. Y'all make me sick. I don't want to hear anything out of your mouths. It's disgusting to even defend that. My child has enriched my family.
Thank you.
His siblings have learned from him. Probably more than they have learned from him.
You brought up this angle about them calling themselves Christians. That means Christ-like. Do these folks who do these wicked and evil things in the name of Jesus, do you think they're actually advocating for Jesus the way Jesus would like them to, Ange? I mean, I know you don't get into this, but does it make you want to be a Christian when you see this?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And you know where I stand. I mean, I grew up Catholic, and I'm now agnostic, and I got called evil because I'm agnostic. So maybe do some research, because that does not make me evil. It just means I question, and
Thank you.
That's my way. And I respect everybody's religion. I talk with a lot of people that are followers of Christ. I respect them. There are many. There are many
true
gods.
followers of Christ, because we know we got some hypocrites out here.
Yeah, we sure do. Talking about loving the children and everything, and that is one of the most disgusting things I've heard come out of their mouths. And they all, not all, but many of them that came in my lives, they defended it.
Thank you. Ain't that something?
And I know you're in here because you're screen recording. And that's getting weird too. So
weird.
Make sure you make a video on this one too. And please put in there, please put in there that if you agree with that comment, you are a POS.
Ooh.
I kept it clean for Mama.
Ange. I say they should put their badge on and wear it proudly. These folks know they are wicked. Evil is in their heart. And then they want to get out here, and then they try to do all the wicked things on the planet and say, but we're Christians, all right? And please come join our side. Yeah, right. And go straight to hell with you. I'll pass.
And one last thing, the writing is on the wall, guys. I just saw what Shay put up, and that was your favorite. That was Fox News. And I'm telling you that number, that 44% in a week is going to be probably 40. And another week, it's going to be in the 30s.
Ooh.
And I love my daughter, but why are you blowing your nose right there? Anyway, that's the background noise.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what's going to happen. And they're all saying, oh, well, you're just going to have to feel a little bit of pain. We're going to feel a lot of pain.
Thank you.
But you know what? So are you. And I'm willing to do it because that's the only damn thing that's going to get you. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's the only thing that I think will make them learn. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I don't
I
like
agree.
to say it. I don't like to say burn it all down, but I don't know.
It is
sorry,
what it
guys,
is.
if you think I'm wrong.
No,
you have your own
Ange, I
opinion.
got a confession, all right? You know, growing up, we used to get in trouble as kids back in the day. You know, whoopings were a thing. You know, I got to say this. I used to laugh when my siblings got whoopings. I did. I'm so sorry, but it's true. Oh, because you know they've done things, and you knew their day was going to eventually come, and when they got caught, and so I'm very patient. I'm very patient. Oh, you think
Were you the one that got the most though?
we can get into that later.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
but you know, and they laughed at me, I would imagine too. All right, and that's when you knew, okay, this is a game we're playing. All right, you want to know? Okay, so I'm gonna make sure you get it, and then I'm gonna make sure I have my moment to laugh. And this is where we're at with MAGA. Seriously, they need to get the whole experience from top all the way down. And as they're getting it, I'm going to be in the back crying, laughing.
You know what, Zeus? That is an excellent analogy.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy. And
Yeah.
on that note, I'm going to drop down. You guys
Thank you.
have a great. Thank you, Kingdom. Thank you for all the love.
You're welcome. W Ange in the chat. Yeah. Woo-wee, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, y'all got me having flashbacks, all right? But you know what? It's the good flashbacks. And you know what? Some of those were actually things that were needed, and actually, because look at how I turned out. W Zeus. Hi, Kabira. How are you?
Hi, Zeus. How are you?
I'm all right. Just, you know, hanging on to the good old promises of the Lord, so to speak.
The promises are coming. What does
Yep.
Trump say? Promises made, promises kept.
Right.
You know, I wanted to bring this up. Everyone keeps bringing up about the $5,000 baby bonus.
That's right.
But the main thing that they keep forgetting is that Trump wants women to take courses in their administration, in their period.
Yeah,
Yes,
their menstruation
sir.
cycle, really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Each new child's mother and menstrual classes to improve the chances of pregnancy.
Who pays for that?
I guess Trump is paying for it. So I just think that that's crazy because most women, you know, let's put it like this, not trying to be there, but when I got pregnant, I knew at that particular moment, boop, that one right there did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know when your cycle and your time of the month and all
Yeah.
of that stuff. So for him to want women to take courses in their ministry.
I mean, think about let's go in there a little bit, Kabir. So I've registered online, giving up my personal information right to these people. So now the professor, I'm assuming, is this a man or a woman teaching this class, right? Because it gets real freaky. It gets freaky real fast.
I have no idea, Seuss. I have no idea whatsoever. All I can tell you, you know, I sent you, I don't know if you checked it out, but I sent you the link yesterday where Trump wants to, you know, each adult child, mother, and menstrual classes to improve our chances of getting pregnant. But yet, think about everything that happens after the baby is born, what they don't want to do.
It's actually darker than I thought, Kabir, because now I'm starting to think you're getting a bunch of young adults in these classes, perhaps too. And then to your point, right, you mix that with what happens to the kid. It just seems to me like something very evil and wicked.
Exactly. You know, you want to take away their food stamps or SNAP or whatever you call it, right? You want to take away Department of Education. You want to take away USDA to feed children in schools, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to give them any child tax credits, right? But you want to give them just $5,000 to take a course in the most effective way to get pregnant during your menstrual cycle.
Got to be kidding me.
So, yeah, isn't that crazy?
Hands made tail. That's what they're saying, yeah.
Exactly. So what did Trump say? He's good for the women. He loves the women. So they want to keep you barefoot, pregnant, and in the house. This is what MAGA bought.
Do you think that, to the women that voted for Donald Trump, what do you think their angle is on this in terms of supporting it? Because, obviously to me, this just seems like something very dark and evil. Why would they sign up for this, in your opinion? Or maybe you don't know, but I'm just wondering, how could anyone defend this?
It's Leave It to Beaver moment. Right? June Cleaver and Ward Cleaver. Right? They want to make America great again, right?
Yeah.
So the woman stays at home, has the babies while the husband goes out and work. But the world doesn't work that way anymore. You understand? So if you keep it like that, then where does that put people of color? That puts you in your place too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to take Big Zeus back to the 50s?
Yeah, if he wants to take the women back to the 50s, you know where he wants to send you, Zeus.
Oh, for some strange reason. Well, for some strange reason, Kabir, I just don't see that sitting quite well with how Zeus lives his lifestyle. I could imagine I'd be a problem. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be a problem if you try that. You're going to have your hands full.
Well, I mean, that's where he's going with that. I mean, if you look at the bigger picture, right? Make America great again. Remove people of color from the African American Museum. Take down Harriet Tubman. Probably take down Cesar Chavez. He's coming. He's on that boat too. So he's going to sail off on that boat with the rest of the people of color who's contributed to America. Going to keep hiring DUIs and just incompetent.
Pete Kegg's breath. Yeah, what do you think about Pete bringing he has a little studio he has one being built at the Department of Defense, they say, a studio for his hair and makeup and stuff like that.
Well, that's what Trump wants, though. He wants somebody to fit the bill. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you look good in front of the camera, that's what Trump wants. Even if you think about in his last administration, everybody had to look the part, right?
Yeah.
But now, at least in the last administration, the people who looked the part, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Right? But this time, look at all these people he has in places. They look like they came out of central casting. Right? And they don't know their butt from a hole in the ground.
They sure
right?
don't. They don't. I mean, so I'm watching Pete Kegg's breath, all right, Whiskey Pete, Whiskey Leaks, and I just can't shake it that every time he gets on camera, most likely he's, done one of these real quick. Maybe two or three. It just seems like that whenever he starts talking, right?
He's making a fool out of himself. He doesn't present himself well on the camera. I mean, he's good, I guess, for an anchorman or Saturday morning live on Fox News, the Dunkin' Donuts commercial or something. But to represent America for the Department of Defense, no, he doesn't carry himself well. But once again, Trump wants someone who looks like they came out of the casting call.
Yeah. And,
you know what I mean?
And unfortunately, that's an incompetent person that we got right now.
Exactly. So that's the only thing I want to say was just to remind people that, all right, ladies, just remember now, you take those courses. So when your period comes, you'll know the perfect time. Before it comes, you'll know the perfect time to grab that man and get pregnant so you can get that $5,000.
And that might be the last time they see that kind of money. Now that I think, ain't that something?
And Trump's so much of a taker-backer, you'll be waiting right at the mailbox with that Doge check.
So they gonna be waiting at the mailbox for 2 checks, huh? The Doge check. Wow.
The mailbox for 2 checks on a promise. You know what I mean? But as a friend of mine's grandmama used to say, if you can beat me rocking, you can have my chair. So they'll be
hit them with it. Hit them with it. All righty then. Well, listen, thank you so much, Kabira. All right, ladies and gentlemen, show Kabira some loves. 5,000 isn't enough, they're saying.
That's what it is.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, W. Kabir. Red Lady Red. Why do you want to come back up here? I think we've done a number on you. And again, Red Lady Red, I don't know what else we can do to help you. Because, at a certain point, you have to show us that you really are learning from all this truth we're giving you. All right. And honestly, a lot of humility would help. All right. Seriously. All right. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Digital. Good morning, Digital Doodle. Welcome. She needs prayer. Let her stay in hell. Hi, Digital. How are you? Digital, are you there? Maybe you accidentally sent the request. I think you accidentally sent the request. Alrighty then. All right, let's move it along. All right. Good morning, my good friend, Brother Santana. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Listen, Zeus, first and foremost, I'm happy to be back in the kingdom, right? I know the last couple of days I haven't necessarily been around, so it's
But
good
you've been working.
to
You've been working. Never feel bad about that, brother. I know where you're at, all right? And keep up the great work you're doing.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm just happy to know that you are still, cooking and booking, keeping them in line, making sure, things are rolling how it should be.
Amen.
Yeah.
We're all doing it. It's a team effort, seriously.
Absolutely. Listen, I wanted to come on and share something interesting this morning because I know that at times we get a little bit, wrapped up as far as what's happening online, right? Specifically here on TikTok, right?
Correct.
But the last couple of days really proved something to me, Zeus. These people are lost. They are truly lost. And when I say lost, I specifically mean they don't. It's so acceptable to be anti-intellect, right? Like you don't need facts, you don't need information, you need your feelings, and being able to actually talk to and challenge these people in real life and not have them, run from it. It was super interesting. And Zeus, you know how tough people are online, right? People are really brave online, but face to face, Zeus, I'm me, right? I'm 6'3", I'm about 280. Like
Yeah.
There's a difference between looking in the camera and talking to me and looking me eye to eye and talking to me. And the thing that I really realize is that they love to talk about the culture war, right, Zeus?
Correct.
But everyone that I spoke with over these last couple of days, they didn't want to talk about policy, right? They didn't want to talk about, their bank accounts, their wallets. They didn't want to talk about, what Donald Trump promised or what he was actually doing. They wanted to speak specifically about culture wars, right? And they couldn't back up anything that they were saying as far as like the actual things that were being done, the actual, items that were promised, and it was just super interesting, and it really pushed me to say that we need to continue to actually challenge them. So we need to continue to put the facts in their face. We need to continue to hold them accountable for their words, hold them accountable for their actions. We are the Zeus. I'm gonna just say it.
Go ahead, say it.
They accept mediocrity, and we don't. And we won't.
Exactly. Do you? Because I watched the video as much as I could. I watched what y'all were doing out there, and I just couldn't help but keep thinking to myself, a lot of these people don't understand why they believe what they believe, and the opinions that they have. It just to me comes across as either you're doing it because you were raised in this family in a lifestyle like that, and you don't know any better, or you're just clearly you're willfully willing to spread hatred, right? But in your face, it's more of a it's harder to actually get away with trying to be a bully. That's what it looked like when I saw it.
Yeah, so Zeus, I ended up spending time like doing a couple interviews and talking to some of the young people, but there's two young people specifically that really caught my ear, and I'm going to post these interviews later today. But the first guy, right, was he was a young man. He was 19, super excited about, the interview and all this other stuff. And he actually explained to me that he lives with his grandparents, and his grandparents hate Donald Trump.
Yes.
His grandparents talk to him all the time about, like, basically the history and the fact that they've seen, things like this before. But he's a young man who supports Donald Trump because it's exciting. It makes him feel good. Like, we had the conversation, and it never boiled down to anything that was tangible. It was all about the optics. It was all about the feels.
Right.
And so he said that he actually pushed back on his grandparents, and he loves his grandparents, and he has these conservative values, but it's all about the feelings. It was never about anything that he actually knew or anything that was actually being done.
Wow.
Right?
Ain't that something?
Right. Now, the second person, Zeus, you're going to love this. Founder Blagger. Right? Texas A&M on campus, Founder Blagger. And he had the, white 47 hat on, everything. And I had a conversation with him, and we talked about, him being a black man that supports Donald Trump. And Zeus, you know what he said?
What's that?
He said, I think that what Donald Trump is doing with segregation is a good thing. I think that we should have segregation.
The
I
devil.
got that on camera, Zeus. I got that on camera. But then the funny thing
He must not know what the word segregation means. I'm gonna be honest with you. He couldn't have known.
Zeus, his thought process was, well, the black dollar is so powerful that if we keep the black dollar to ourselves, then we'll have more. And I said, well, you do understand the wealth gap that is in America right now. You do understand, not just talking about the wealth being coalesced in the top 1%, but there is a major wealth gap when it comes to, white families, black families, and things like that. And he was like, yeah, it was so interesting, but it really, again, it drilled down on the point that Donald Trump really targets people's emotions, like the people that actually follow him and support him all rely on emotions, not any type of information or facts, and that's a problem.
Now listen, I have to bring up Yazzie in about 3 minutes, and we're gonna sing "Happy Birthday." I just wanted to give you that so that we know. And but please continue. You saying, because you cracked me up when you said the black dollar. That just sent me right over the cliff. I've never heard of that, and if he could provide any information about the black dollar and how it was created, I would be more than interested.
Yeah, well, Zeus, and the interesting part about that is that we know for a fact that every time that black people have tried to create their own, right, there has been some type of massacre that occurs, and you get things that occur like in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or you get like Lake Lanier down in Atlanta, or you get Central Park up in New York, right? We understand what happens, but even more than that, we understand that divisiveness is not the way to actually progress, right? If we want to actually do something, we need to be together. So it was just a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And the one thing that I'll leave you with, Zeus, is being at A&M in the heart of MAGA, in the deep red South, racism is alive and well.
Thank you.
Racism is alive and well, and MAGA breeds racism, and this is what they're about. They're about hate, and that's just the truth. I had a guy stand on stage, right, and tell me that the reason why people from other countries are not welcome is because they won't actually come in and accept our culture. They have to give up their culture in order to be in America. And so then I continue to, I continue to talk. He talked about black people, and he said, well, black people have their own culture. I said, wait, so you're saying that black people can keep their culture, but other cultures can't? He was like, well, yeah, that's because, black people are a part of American stock. And I said, oh, What do you mean about that? I said, yeah, you're right about that. You said the right word, stock, because we do understand that the first thing that was traded in the NASDAQ, right, the stock exchange, the first thing that was actually traded were black people. Right? So yes, American stock. But even more, he started talking about, well, we have American culture. I was like, well, what's American culture? And Zeus, he said it with his whole chest in front of hundreds of people on stage, being recorded, mic in his face. American culture is white culture.
So goodbye to Michael Jackson, right? Goodbye to Michael Jackson and all the stuff he did, right? Because that's how he thinks. What a shame. What a disgrace. Well, listen, brother.
I'll leave you this last quick thought. Zeus, what you do, what we do, what everybody that's watching, listening, passing on information, what you guys are doing is important. We have to pick it up. We have to do more. We have to energize. We have to focus. We have to move towards 2026, 2028. We have to take back our country.
Amen.
We have to get it.
Amen. We'll do. And we're going to continue to keep up this great work because we got to save this great country of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for Santana. All right. Thank you for checking in with us and giving us an update, brother. I really do appreciate that. All right. Thank you. No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. We have a birthday in the kingdom. And honestly, I think this is the first birthday we've celebrated this year. Yazzie, the beautiful Yazzie Jazzy. Where are you? Okay. All right. There she is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Yazzie. How are you doing?
I am good.
Oh my goodness, I gotta expand you now, all right? Because I normally like to hog the camera to myself, but you know what? Some days you gotta share the wealth, all right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Oh my gosh, beautiful. So we're going to sing happy birthday to Yazzie Jazzy, all right? You know what we do, ladies and gentlemen. You know what to do. Get those gifts out. She's working very, very hard to save this great country. She does so much in the background, you just wouldn't believe it. And let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll check in with you, Yazzie, after to see what you're doing to bring in this day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do.
I heard it was somebody's birthday. I heard it was somebody's birthday.
Hey!
Yeah. PJ Penner birthday song, yeah. Yeah, today is your birthday, we gon' say it loud. Hey! Today is your birthday, I know you're so proud. Today is your birthday, we gon' turn out.
Turn up.
Party, get it lit and
happy birthday, Yazzie. Yazzie.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Let's go. Wow, look at all this love. Wow, ladies and gentlemen.
Get a cake, blow the candles,
let's go.
Throw a party, everybody bring it gifts. Got a new outfit, it's lit. Best day of the year, you can't miss.
Look at all this love in the kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
I'm jumping around, yeah, up and down. Hey, happy birthday, we gon' sing it now. Today is your birthday, we gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday, I know you're so proud. Today is your birthday, we gon' turn out. About to throw a party, get it lit and wild out. Cut the cake and we gon' say
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Wow, you could be anywhere, but you chose to celebrate your birthday with us, Yazzie Jazzy. Wow, looking so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Don't cry, please don't cry. Don't worry, these are your family, these are your friends, and we all love you and everything that you do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and show the beautiful Yazzie Jazzy some love.
Today is your birthday, we gon' say it loud.
Hey.
Today is your birthday, I know you're so proud. Today is your birthday, we gon' turn out. About to throw a party, get it lit and wild out. Cut the cake and we gon' say happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, wow.
Happy birthday.
You can't ignore it. You gotta have a good time sometimes, right? Woo! Gentlemen, behave out there, gentlemen. All right, gentlemen, behave. All right. This is what we do in the kingdom. We spread love, not hate, and we bring in birthday parties better than anyone else. Happy birthday, Yazzie. Thank you for all you've done. All right, seriously, you've been with us for years. I mean, I don't know how you do it, how you put up with all of it, but we really do appreciate it. All righty then. All right, Yazzie, what are you doing today to celebrate your birthday, if you don't mind?
I'm going to see my sister later today, but this weekend, because my parents aren't here, I'm going to go up to the Denver area and get to spend it with my parents.
Wow.
I just want you guys to know, my father, my uncle, my aunt, and my first cousin, they all have colon cancer. Wow. And they're all fighting for their lives. And my mama fought really aggressive breast cancer when I was a little girl, and she got heart damage from it. And my mama had a bad stroke and is now nonverbal right side deficits. And I can see she's slowly declining. And so I think these days are more special to me. These birthdays are more special. Usually my mama calls me. She's the first one to call me in the morning. And I didn't get to hear her words first, but it's okay. I know that she, in her special way, tells me, "Ka, ka, 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 ka." And so I think we, like you said, that's why we're in this fight, because we're going to take care of the sick, the weak, the poor, the elderly, the disabled, our minority groups, our Black and brown people. We can't stop this fight. I am lucky that I have a big farm and I have a lot of resources, and I'm going to keep fighting for all of us, guys, because we're not going to let them take away our rights that they've already taken. We're going to get them back. Okay, guys, we're in this fight together. And the reason thank
Look
you.
at all of this love, Yazzie. I mean, I wish we all could just give you a huge, huge kingdom-sized hug.
I feel like I need it right now.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
It might be my last birthday with my mom, and my dad just tells us he wants to survive this colon cancer long enough for my mom to pass too. So I just can't believe at 34 I might not have them next year. So I know it's a reality. Some people lost them younger than me. But it's just family, and it's okay. We're gonna keep having this big farm fight, and I'm gonna take over some mega territory, and I'm here always supporting the kingdom. Zeus, he's our Triple H. He is the most humble, honest, and handsome.
Oh, Yazzie, I don't know what else to say. Oh my God, you didn't have to. I mean, but in all seriousness, Yazzie, thank you so much for all you do. Words really can't express, how much you mean to each and every single one of us. And I know that you're dealing with a lot on your plate, and sending prayers your way. But we want to make sure feel free to reach out to any of us if there's anything that we can do to help you. All right, but really, honestly, enjoy your birthday as much as you can. All right, make sure you eat some good food and
my staff and
You're kind of a big deal. I have to agree. I agree. You are a big deal. W Yazzie in the chat.
I have such bad allergies towards flowers, pollinating. Like hay season is hard. I take lots of medicine. They got me a nice little.
Yeah, wow. Look at all that. I mean, this is a sign that you are loved everywhere you go. Cherish that, all right? Because a lot of people aren't so loved, all right?
Right, exactly. I am grateful. I just give what I get back. Actually, I will still give regardless whether I get nothing back. Because at the end of the day, the ones that we can fight, we got to fight for these people. We just have to. We have to fight for our Black, brown people, and also our marginalized groups, because it's gonna be a hard year for all of us, but we're all gonna get through it together.
We're all gonna get through it together. Those are the most poetic words I've heard all day. But you know what? I appreciate it. All right, Yazzie. Now
I wouldn't do this. Thank you, Zusi. I wouldn't be here without you either.
Oh, knock it off! You're making me melt. You're making me blush, Yazzie. And when I start to blush, it makes some of the H's start to melt. All right, we don't want to do that, especially with Nutty around here getting all insecure and everything, trying to think he's one step closer to being, on the same level. All right, but you know what, Yazzie? Honestly,
thank you.
All right.
Oh, I got a new little toy tractor to put up in my office too.
Nice.
This is one of the first tractors that my grandfather had gotten on the farm.
Wow.
And so it's a 420.
Wow.
My dad remembers when they all used to fight for the tractor when it finally got an umbrella and they'd get to farm because it protected them from the sun. So
yeah, wow.
It's just. Yeah.
Well, I hope I can get one of those too. I think I need one of those around here too. It seems like it's doing a lot to help.
I think I think I need to send you one.
Okay, fair enough. See, Asler, that's a gift I could receive, but the gift you're trying to send me, Asler, absolutely not. Again, thank you, Yazzie, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Yazzie another round of applause. And again, happy birthday, Yazzie. Take care, all right?
Thank you, guys. Sorry for the waterworks.
It's your day, Yazzie. It's your day.
It's my day.
No apology needed. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And wow, what a great show today. I mean, I've laughed, I've cried, and we did a lot together as a huge community this morning. Actually, you all deserve a huge round of applause for hanging in there. This was pretty incredible. But like I said earlier, I do have to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry to bail out on you. Oh, you know what? I'll do it real quick. All right. I pick on him so much. Nutty's like my brother, but I'll give him a chance to defend himself real quickly. Hi, Nutty.
There's nothing to defend, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I didn't mean to bust you up like that on Yazzie's special day because, sometimes I got to, though, because you've been spreading a lot of.
Listen, I know you like to, invoke my name. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. See?
Back in the late 80s, 90s, I don't want to be a player no more. I'm not a player. I just crush a lot.
Lord have mercy.
So listen. I just had a comment on your friend that has a crush on you, Red Lady Red.
Oh.
I'm going to end the day and your show with this.
Okay.
And I really want people to think about this statement because it's so true for our nation. Stupidity is a parasite. Now, we all know what parasites are.
Yeah.
And that's why I equate stupidity
they need a host.
Being a parasite.
They need a host to live, and I'm a host. I get it.
And that's exactly what MAGA is, a parasite. And unfortunately, our country is suffering because of it. Now, what's the best way to get rid of parasites? There's several ways to get rid of them. But the way that I like that's most effective, I like to burn them.
Oh.
I like to burn them.
Snuggles said ivermectin.
I want to make sure that parasite never comes back. And you can't come back from being burned.
That part. There you go.
So I just encourage everyone. Yazzie, I'm gonna let her kind words in the show today.
Fair enough.
But we will get back to some semblance of normalcy, whatever that's gonna look like after this, because this one thing is true. This too will pass.
Amen.
Now, what the country is gonna look like in the aftermath, we don't know. But the one good thing about all of this is now that we see that democracy really is indeed in peril, maybe, just maybe then, we will strengthen our democracy.
Thank you.
So that that parasite that's sitting behind you no one can ever do what he has done to this nation.
Agreed.
And with that, thank you for letting me up, man, and we'll talk to the kingdom tomorrow.
All right. W's in the chat for Nutty.
And I still look better.
Now, okay, never mind. Don't put the W's for Nutty. Never mind. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give Nutty a quick round of these boos. You don't look better than me. Knock it off, champ. You don't look better than the Zeus, Nutty. Knock it off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the special broadcast. You all deserve a round of applause. Thank you to all of my subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. You help keep this show educational, engaging, and entertaining. I also like to give one last round of boos and shame, and this goes out to all the Zeus haters out there. They know exactly who they are. They like to screen record me. Keep on screen recording me, but it does no good if you're not actually absorbing the information that I'm actually giving you and helping you to try to be a better person. They love to repeat Donald Trump's lies and his talking points, all right? Despite the fact that the poll numbers have clearly revealed no one in the country is buying it except for MAGA. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these Zeus haters one last round of, you guessed it, boos and shame. and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. We are out of here. Have a great rest of your morning. It was an interesting show today. I'll give you that. You never know where these shows are gonna go when you go live. You just gotta buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because you just never know where it's going to go. All right, but I truly enjoy what I'm doing. All right, because guess what? We're winning. Hey, Snuggie. Guess who's winning? It's not you, bro. Go look at those poll numbers. I would love for you to hold a live, Snuggles, about these poll numbers. But keep up the good work trying to get Letitia James, all right, and Alvin Bragg, and making those cases disappear. It's not going to work. Donald Trump has failed the American people. He's failing on the economy. He's failing at the border. And again, happy birthday, Yazzie Gazzy. Yeah, his poll numbers are in the tank. They're in the toilet. Yeah, not even Mike Pence. Mike Pence said, "You're running again?" "Yes, Mike Pence, I'm running again." He says, "I'll pass." JPT Farms, nice to see you. You've been rocking with me for a long time, champ. I appreciate you. A lot of these folks. To get the Drill Baby Drill, it's on all platforms. It should be. All you got to do is type in 3 Crossings, my artist name, and then type Drill Baby Drill, and you'll find it. All right, it's right there. And I caution people, you got to be careful when you listen to that song. Let's go. You got to be careful when you listen to Drill Baby Drill. As a matter of fact, let's get that out of the way, and then we are out of here. W. Camara, thank you so much. You didn't have to, seriously. We're gonna do some Drill Baby Drill, and we're out of here.
She can't help it, but we're gonna end that, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill.
We're gonna be drilling so deep.
We're gonna be, for these guys, we're gonna drill. We're gonna take out so much money. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes.
W Heaven.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack, frack. Drill, we're gonna frack, frack, frack. So baby, just a wrestle, baby, hey. She's gonna bang. You know she's gonna bang it, right? Hey. She was against fucking against all the stuff and then all the stuff and then all the stuff and then all the stuff.
You can't listen to this while you drive. I promise you, you'll crash. She said, I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical.
She can't help it.
We're gonna end that, and we will frack, frack, frack,
and drill, baby, drill. We're gonna drill, baby, drill. We're gonna be drilling so deep. We're gonna be for these guys. We're gonna drill. We're gonna take out so much money.
We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes.
Insane asylum.
Deep insane asylum. When they say the late great Hannibal. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack,
frack, frack.
Drill, baby, drill. Hey.
Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna drill, baby, drill. We're gonna drill like it's Hannibal Lecter.
Hey, hello.
Baby, drill. We're gonna drill like it's Hannibal Lecter.
Here it goes.
Insane asylums.
Oh, what are we doing?
You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, really?
They say, why would you mention Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, why would you do that?
We're gonna lower your taxes.
Oh.
Deep insane asylums.
That part.
You know, they go crazy when I say the late great
Hannibal.
Drill, 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 baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter.
Lower your taxes.
Deep insane asylums.
Hey, put your hands up. Where my thugs at?
The late great Hannibal.
Hey, how low can you go? Hey, how low can you go? Hey, how low? Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. What we gonna do? Lower your taxes. Keep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say proud radical. How much do you owe? Oh, we're gonna pay off all your debt. All right. And then we're gonna do something nice, and we're gonna lower those taxes, all right, baby? Because guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna drill, baby, drill like you wouldn't believe. And then we're gonna frack, all right? Because guess what? We got so much liquid gold underneath our feet, and we just gotta drill, baby, drill to get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Take care and stay safe. Don't do nothing